a moment of reflection, so please feel free to reflect. All right, we're going to go ahead and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Amy, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank you all for your patience. Sorry we're starting a little bit late. We had to finish our discussion about the Game of Thrones series. Wait, was that a... Okay, so we're going to go for an approval of the agenda. Ed, is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, there's one. Can you please remove item 13J from the agenda?
13J, all righty. All right, we will do that. Thank you very much. And so it is now requested that the board approve the May 9th, 2024 agenda with removal of that item. Can I get a motion?
I move. Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. And all in favor?
Yes.
Student, can I ask you guys too, student advisory, all in favor?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sorry about the meeting. Okay, so we did just get out of closed session, and during closed session, the board discussed student disciplines and personnel issues. The following actions were taken during closed session. We did approve the appointment of Anna Farina as Director of Communications, Community Engagement, and College Readiness by unanimous roll call vote of 6-0. And then we also approved the appointment of Jared Cullen as Assistant Principal of Vacaville High School by unanimous roll call vote of 6-0. Okay, and so there. So we are gonna move on to the next one, which is student discipline recommendations. So we are requested that the board approve the recommendations for student discipline cases 13-2324-EX and 14-2324-EX as presented. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
And this is a roll call vote. And we're going to do this one vote for both of these issues.
Thank you.
Ms. Russell, your vote?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Serrato?
Yes.
Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Kitsis?
Yes.
Vice President Santillan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we are going to move on to the student report and student volunteer recognition, and I'm going to pass this over to Ed.
Great, thank you, and good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're going to honor our very important school board reps. So I just have to say, and what we're going to do is we'll call you up one at a time, we'll give you a gift, and then we'll take a picture. We have Joel here ready to take a picture of the whole group. But before we do that, I just have to say what an important part of our process our student reps are. They come prepared every meeting. They tell us what's going on at each of the schools, so we at each of the high schools, so we have a really good idea of what's happening, what events are coming up, what have they done. But they're also really helpful in bringing a student voice to this process. So oftentimes during an item that's being discussed, they'll have questions, they'll have ideas, they're living it. So that to hear from our student board reps, whenever we hear from them, is always valued by all of us. So I wanted to just say thank you for the time and effort you have put into this. Some of these meetings go a little long sometimes, and I appreciate how you've just hung in there with us and been a really integral part of our process. Okay, so let's get to the awards. Jim is going to hand you the award, and then whoever will probably go right kind of down the line. If you just stay up here, so we'll get ready for the picture. Okay? Are we ready? So first from Buckingham Charter Academy, Sean Ginzinger. School, Alice Cooney. From Wolsey Wood High School, Aria Mento. Also from Wolsey Wood High School, Jason Ruiz. Okay, so I'm going to run down and join the picture. If board members want to stay. Parents, if you want to get up and get pictures too, feel free to jump around. Okay, Jason, scoot in. Look, you know.
Board members, can you all see me? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can see me, I can see you. So, here we go, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Just 1.
Okay, don't leave everyone, because parents want to get some of
Yeah.
this stuff. We'll get Joel out of here and let the parents jump in. Joel, Michael was confused, he's like, we saw you over there too. All right, everybody good? Do you want the parents? Sure, we'll step out. Parents, join in, jump in the picture.
Parents, you want to get a picture with me? Take it down.
Feel free to stand by your side, watch the steps.
Make sure everybody can see Joel.
Okay. There we go. Big group here. Joel, you can get it. Turn this way, please. There we go.
Turn that way to the left.
Nancy, scoot over. All right, board member, take one little step down. No, board member, board member, listen to the left. There we go. I've got it matched up, like in between heads here. Michael, take one step that way. There we go.
If it does, don't worry about it.
Okay, here we go. One more with a smile. Awesome.
All right.
Okay, back to you, Mr. Vice President.
All righty, that was a lot of fun, thank you. Next is comments from the board. Do we have any comments from the board? All right.
Yes, we have 3.
All right.
First one is Kim Radikoff.
Hello, how are you? My name is Kim Radikoff. I work at Fairmont Elementary Charter. And I to show up tonight, but I'm a little stressed out right now with Facilitron. I'm working a lot more job duties than being paid for. I have a lot of sports going on, and the district is scheduling a lot of sports at my school for the city of Vacaville. I have Buckingham there, which is not a problem. Buckingham is not a problem. They know what they do. And then I have a school or a travel team called the Outcasts. It's really putting a lot of stress on my job because I'm having to clean up for them instead of doing my custodial job. I'm a night custodian. And like tonight I'm here, just do a little complaint. I'm missing doing my job again. But we need to figure something out with Facilitron because I'm getting yelled at and screamed at by the city of Vacaville, basketball players and stuff, when I'm doing overtime, I'm doing my regular job, trying to do my regular job, and it's starting to stress us out. My school, I know we've got, what, 4 or 5 weeks left, but I can't clean my school at this point because I'm so overbooked. I'm triple booked on some days, which means I can't do my custodial job. So I just came here tonight to voice my opinion on it because we need to figure out, I don't know who's in charge of the Facilitron, but we need to come to a ground where we're not triple booked. I only have one empty room. I have a little stage for the elementary. I don't have big seating, and I'm continually being lashed out at. A little stressful, and like I said, I can't do my job. But I'm getting more workload put on me, and so that's why I came.
So I can I?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So, thank you for letting us know, because within Facilitron, with outside organizations, if there are 2 things. One, we can have them pay for a custodian and bring someone else in completely to take care of their services so you can do the rest of yours. And 2, we'll have someone contact you. If people are being not nice to you, we need to know that too, because we sometimes then remove the ability to use our facilities if a group, and it's probably not the city, but a group within that.
Yes, because I have 4 different ball teams that come in, and only one group has actually screamed and yelled at me, and I yell back.
So we'll touch base with you and get all that information.
Now, I was on Facilitron, and all of a sudden I got taken off, but I would like to be back on there because if I get a knock on the door Monday night with a key tapping on my glass, and I'm like, can I help you? Oh, we're here to play. No, you're not. You're not on my facility. Well, yeah, we are. Well, I don't get it anymore.
Okay, so we'll have somebody reach out and we'll get all those
Okay.
things fixed.
And because they keep telling me that they have a custodian fee. Well, I don't see that, but I have the extra workload.
Right, got it.
Okay, God
Thank you.
bless.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Curtis Hunt.
Vice President, Board, thank you. I'm here tonight as a result of the Boys and Girls Club on the executive board. I wanted to bring an item that that I was aware of, and I just wanted to share with you. In the first week of May, our teen clubs sponsored a 5K run for autism. And I think all educators know how much autism is affecting classrooms these days, and it's a highly diagnosed thing. But our teens, the youth development principals required them to conduct this event completely. They had to schedule the venue, they had to get the insurance, they had to do the marketing, and as part of youth development, that's how kids learn to become community partners. That's how they become community engaged. And I'm happy to report they did a 5K run at Jepson, and as a result of their efforts, they were able to give $2,000 to the Play for All Park. And the Play for All Park is just if you haven't been out there, it's an incredible park. I had a little bit to do with that. The other thing, since I did come out, I wanted to present a couple other things that are happening on our Boys and Girls Club. We're doing STEM research, and we're doing Epsom salt crystals, which help people understand how chemicals react to Epsom salt, and they're developing those. We also did a recycled action figures, where they got to create their own action figure out of recycled metal. So we're doing some things around recycling as part of our programs. But since I came out, I just want to let you know that the Boys and Girls Club continues to serve the community. We're very active. You may know we're involved in an active campaign for a capital project. And I've been in this community since forever, since 1979. And our Boys and Girls Club has raised $5.5 million. And that's never happened in a nonprofit that I'm aware of. Even the Children's Network didn't raise that. So I just wanted to bring it to your awareness. The Boys and Girls Club continues to serve, and I was just so immensely proud of the autism event and giving money to the Play for All Park. And by the way, it was also our team program is coordinated by a paraprofessional working as an instructional aide. So.
Thank you very much for bringing that information to us.
Anna Eaton.
Good evening, school board members, and good to see you all. Since my board member came out here, I thought I'd better show up too. But I'm here for a different reason. I think the community recognizes that our Boys and Girls Club works with a unique population, the underserved population. You know, the times are changing, and I recognize just from working with the families that we have that things are getting tough for our families. So I'm really here to just share information about us. I've sent it to your PIO office to share, and you guys have been great at doing that. We have summer programs coming up for elementary kids and teens. It's a full-day program, and it is not fee-based in the way that, you know, we balance our budget off the backs of families. We want to ensure that all families can participate in our program. So the fee can be as little as $20 a week from 9 to 6 a.m. with meals included, thanks to partnering with the nutrition department. And our team program is kind of a little known secret because we do so much with our team program. There's a Tahoe camp that we take them to. There's also a lot of college and career prep, some partnering with Toastmasters, and so there's a lot of time spent skill building with them during the summertime, and it is at no cost to the teenagers. So we just wanted to come up here and share that information because, again, when parents are looking for options for summertime, and intercession will just run until the end of June, as summer goes through August, we just wanted to remind everybody that Boys and Girls Club is here, and we want to serve our community, and we're asking you to help share the information. So thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
And that's it.
Thank you all for coming in. All right, and we are going to move on to comments and correspondence. So we're going to start with superintendent's comments.
Thank you and good evening. I'm going to go just a little bit out of order because Anna and Curtis are here. But Anna mainly, so today at lunchtime, Rotary meets every Thursday at lunch, and today's event was to give out over $30,000 in 22 scholarships to amazing students. And I want to thank Anna because she was the chairperson of that committee and spent hours and hours reading applications, interviewing students, meeting with the committee to decide who gets the scholarship. So it was a wonderful event, and thank you, Anna, for all of that effort. Okay, we have two appointments that we did last week that we'd like to introduce the administrators. First is Jared Rodani. If you could come on up. Jared, I'll say a few things and then you say a few things. Okay. Jared's appointment as the new assistant principal at Alamo Elementary is met with genuine excitement. Jared's journey with Vacaville Unified began in 2013 as a special education teacher at Callison. Over the years, he's demonstrated exceptional dedication and leadership, transitioning to a program specialist and stepping in as an interim vice principal at Alamo Orchard last year. His tenure has been marked by his growth as both a teacher and a leader, preparing him well for this new role. We eagerly remove the interim title from his current position and warmly welcome him as the assistant principal at Alamo Elementary, where he will work alongside Derek Whitcliffe. Congratulations.
Superintendent Santa Padre and board members, it feels like I was just here. I've heard from many people that Alamo is a special place. Working there over the last 4 months has shown what people really mean when they call it special. There's a palpable sense of pride among the staff and students. This pride comes from traditions and active involvement from everybody on site and even Eagle alumni. I'm so excited and honored to be chosen as Alamo Elementary's assistant principal. This year I've had the privilege of working with some great teams in our VUSD family. I've learned a lot from our special education leadership team and the staff and administrators from Hemlock, Orchard, and Alamo. This experience will guide me next year in my new position. An extended thank you to both Ann Silva at Orchard and Derek Wycliffe at Alamo for guiding and mentoring me this past semester. I look forward to next year's adventure. Thank you.
Stephanie Ariza? Okay, allow me to introduce Stephanie Ariza as the assistant principal for the Hemlock, Ace, Orchard Elementary School campuses for the, it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? For the upcoming school year. Stephanie's appointment is met with great anticipation and enthusiasm for both campuses. Since 2005, Stephanie has been an integral part of the Vacaville community, starting as a dedicated classroom teacher at several of our schools before assuming the role of data coach at Fairmont, and most recently serving as interim assistant principal at Hemlock. In her short time at Hemlock and ACE, Stephanie has already showcased her commitment to fostering strong relationships with students, staff, parents, recognizing the vital role these connections play in our students' success. She eagerly embraces this new chapter, ready to collaborate with the Orchard staff and parents to further champion student success. Please join us in extending congratulations to Stephanie Ariza as she assumes the role of Vice Principal at Hemlock, Ace, and Orchard.
Good evening, Superintendent Senapatre and board members. I'm excited to stand here being introduced as the 24-25 assistant principal for Hemlock, Ace, and Orchard. This year I was gifted with the opportunity to come on board the Hemlock Ace family to support as an interim assistant principal. I will forever be grateful for all that I learned and the relationships that I built with the staff, the students, and the families. This year, I look forward to becoming an Orchard Owl and continuing to learn and support these two wonderful schools. I'm thrilled to work with the Hemlock, Orchard, and ACE staff, along with their families, to continue to support and care for our students and their continued education. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Okay, so board members, you'll see on your agenda this evening, there are a couple of resolutions, one for the day of the teacher and other certificated staff, and one for the classified school employee week. And there have been celebrations happening this week, and it's been fun to see the different campuses, how they celebrate their teams. And it's also been really fun to see on social media all of the posts and people who are sending messages to their teachers and really talking about their impact and the lifelong impact that our educators have made on them. So that's been great. Next week, the cabinet team wants to honor our employees, and what better way than to bring them breakfast. So on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we're going to bring them breakfast and hopefully share a few words with them and thank them for their contribution. So a video is going to go out telling them exactly which day everybody's getting breakfast, so they know when not to eat and they can come hungry. But really, in the video, I said, you know, when you look at those comments from the people on social media, and when you hear the thank yous that are given to all of our educators, it is very clear why this is the most important role that happens in our community. So big thank you to our entire team. I wouldn't want to work with anybody else than this team. And so next week we'll bring you some great breakfasts that are done with our student nutrition department. So that's always a wonderful thing. So there's that. And then one other quick thing, because I got the Rotary one. I was at the VEX open house this week, which was really neat to see all of the new students who are going to come into the VEX program at Wilsey Wood this next year. Packed house. It was done at Solano College, which was neat. They are back doing it there, and the Solano staff and the Willsiewood staff really gave lots of great information to the students and their families. And a big shout out to Jamie Russell, who was the counselor at Willsiewood, who I saw her the next night at a baseball game actually, and said to her, you know, you are so amazing at giving great information, really being encouraging to the students, telling them how they can do this with just a little sprinkle of reality, like it's not going to be that easy though. So, and she did it in such a warm way that nobody ran out, nobody left, and they're all signed up and ready to go. So it was a great night. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. All right. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for coming out. And, all right, so, board member comments. Anybody have any comments they want to make?
I just wanted to say a quick thank you to all the different schools and community events that I've had such a good time attending between the last board meeting and now. I know it's that time of year in schools where everything is sort of piled on top of each other, all celebrating everything, but I had a great meet and greet with Vacaville Teachers Association members. I was able to attend the People's Forum and the BU event at the Play for All Park. I got to see wonderful certificated and classified people being honored all across the county at the Solano County Educator of the Year event. And then the two things that I want to just give a little more detail on is on May 1st, I attended Payton Elementary's Leader in Me. And I just want to give a shout out, and I had to write their names down so I wouldn't remember it, I wouldn't forget it. The group that I was with, we were it was all about superheroes, and I was in the Flash group. And the Flash leaders were Mila and Gabriel, and two students at Payton from their leadership group. And they gave an amazing tour, and mostly they kept us on schedule. They would very politely come up and say, you know, this is like a 1-minute warning, and then we're leaving this classroom and we're going on to this other classroom. And so we made it, a tour of Payton, and they were just wonderful. So I just want to give both of those students a big personal shout out, along with just the staff and the administration that made that a great event. And then because, you know, middle school is near and dear to me, I was very happy to join members of cabinet yesterday at the barbecue lunch at Bacapena Middle School, celebrating their win in the March Madness attendance. So I started off on the protein end of the line. Later I got moved down to fruit. I don't know what that says, but I will say we shaved 5 minutes off the time when I was on fruit. So maybe that's something I need to remember for the future. But it was, I was just so impressed again with the students and the staff, and boy, our child nutrition folks, they know how to put out a celebratory lunch, let me tell you. It was delicious smelling, delicious tasting, fantastic, and it was just really great to see the students. They were all, you know, so polite and so hopefully feeling honored by this special event. So it's just been full of so many great things these last couple of weeks. I'm really looking forward between now and graduation and all the other things that I get to do. So thank you to everybody.
Anybody else? Oh, I have all.
I needed to chew on it.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to build on Superintendent Simon Padre remarks on, sending appreciation to our certificated and classified staff. I mean, the work that you do is so key to our kids and our families and the connections and the heart that you pour into that, so thank you guys. I also wanted to thank the student board reps. You guys are so amazing. I love that you come here week in, week out, and how engaged you are in your community and the updates that you share and helping us know what's taking place in schools. And then it's so much fun to see as we get towards the end of the year, the different celebrations that are taking place. I'm just looking forward to celebrating one. It was great to know about some of the resources that are available for summer. For family members that are listening, beware of summer slide, so have fun, but also bring in educational elements in there, the library has some great resources that will do my plug.
Anyone else? All right, well, my turn then. I got to join Nancy at the barbecue. It was a lot of fun, and the students there were so polite and so enthusiastic to get that food. The reason we cut off 5 minutes is because I forgot to offer them the vegetarian part. I just said chicken, and just gave it to them. So some people found there was vegetarian stuff there, so the vegetarian got to eat too. And so it was a fantastic time, great students, great atmosphere, cabinet members, and everybody very enthusiastic, and we all had a lot of fun. So I am also looking forward to some coming up things. One of my favorites is going to the different high schools' scholarship announcements. So I've been to the Vacaville and the Woodlawn for the last few years, and it's really fun to see all the people that have applied for it and earned the variety of scholarships. So I look forward to those happening real soon. Thank you all very much, and we'll move on to the next bit. Bargaining unit representative reports. Anybody got anything to say? All right, Brenda, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm here finally. Missed you guys. Have you missed me? Probably not. Okay. Brenda Hensley, BTA president. Yeah, so I just have kind of like a list of things that's going on since the last time I was here, which seems like it was a long time ago. So Kelly Burks and Adam Rich came to our exec board meeting this week and talked to us about the bond and the facility master plan, and luckily, pretty much all of our interests align. I think the main takeaway, I think Kelly said, was, well, there's a lot of talk about restrooms. So restrooms are a huge issue for staff, students, so hopefully we can focus on some of that as well. But appreciated the time they took to come out and talk to us about kind of the plan going forward. We'll have an endorsement process for the bond from the Armenian, so we'll probably do that in August. So, but yes, we do want to partner with you. We know that our district has needs, and those facilities really affect our working conditions and the students' learning conditions, so that's really important to us. In the last, like I said, I think it's been like 6 weeks, 2 months since I've been here. We've had a number of level 2 grievances, but I'm happy to report that most of those have cleared. We've settled on most of those. We have one or two that have some tweaking to do, but we're still working together to solve those. So I'm happy to report on that. I'm also working with Ed on looking at comps with other districts, and we've started and we'll continue. I'm trying to get some data from CTA, so when I get more, I will be in touch as well. We have been working on a litany of MOUs with district staff. We had an MOU extravaganza day, as Sasha called it. It was great. We signed up on 5. We do have a few other ones to do. We are going to meet tomorrow to do that. We have another date scheduled just in case we don't finish. But big ones like elementary prep and Kimmy. We've got some kind of chunky ones. We weren't able to finish on where we were like every hour doing a different MOU. So we're working together on those, and I expect to have great conversations and work to get those signed as soon as we can, so we know what we have in place for next year. Speaking of next year, we do have lots of changes. I've expressed my concerns to district staff as well. Like, there were lots of new changes this year. There's new changes, next year. And I know this is a really busy time. I know that our district staff is, I can tell that they're stressed out. I can tell that, and I worry about them as people. But we have a lot of things that we've got to do too, and I just want to have some balance going into next year as far as how much new and what can we take off, and like a real thoughtful process about that. Because the new changes that are coming are great, but when you keep piling and you don't take anything off, the plate collapses, right? So that's a huge concern to me. I just want to say thank you to the staff for working with us to figure out a way to keep that 5th counselor at the high schools. So it's a lot of maneuvering, but I think we're in a good spot to keep those, and I know the counselors were very excited about that as well. So hopefully they can calm down and serve the students and get them through, especially our seniors, who they want to get through to graduation, make sure that they're there. So they've got a lot of work to do, and that's off their plate now to worry about. And then, yes, I couldn't go by without expressing a thank you to all of the sites who are appreciating their certificated members, their teachers, but we also include everybody else along that. You know, you can't use district money to do any of this stuff, right? So often it's coming out of either the principal's pocket, or it's probably a PTC fund, or somebody that they've wrangled to say, hey, can you help pay for some of this? Because we can't use district money to honor our folks with little snacks or whatever. So I just want to say, I know that that takes a lot of work and money's tight. And so I appreciate the efforts that all the sites are going to honor, and appreciate my 700 some people that I represent. So I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah, I got everything on my list. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Welcome back. All right, we're going to move on to the student board member representative reports. And let's just start front here with Buckingham with Joshua Kim. You guys aren't going to attack you?
Good evening, governing board members, board vice president Santillan, and superintendent Santa Padre. Today we held our special assembly for our Holocaust survivors. It was a wonderful event, and we thank Mr. Mohamed for making this possible. It is also finally the week of AP testing. We wish our students good luck on their tests. Staff appreciation is this week. In honor of our wonderful staff, our incoming ASB candidates have put up posters in their name to spread a positive message in their wonderful guidance at Buckingham. Our SHIELD parent group is also hosting a staff appreciation luncheon on Friday after school. Tomorrow night, SHIELD is hosting a fundraising event called Knights Night. Our consumer home economics students have been busy preparing dinner for this event, which will take place at 5:30 in our NPR. Our softball team played the last regular season game last night against Faith Christian with a win of 19-0. They also celebrated the senior night in honor of our 5 soon-to-be graduates who have been a part of our softball program. They have won 8 matchups by 9 or more runs this season and are heading off into the playoffs next Tuesday. Our baseball team also had the first playoff game last night against Woodland Christian, and we wish our varsity track and field team good luck in their SJSS division prelims tomorrow. On Wednesday, May 15th, our Visual and Performing Arts Department will be hosting a Celebration of the Arts showcase event from 6 to 8 p.m. This is a community event, and everyone is welcome to attend. Prom is also finally here. It will be held at Jefferson Street Mansion in Benicia this Saturday. We cannot wait to see our nights there. Next Thursday, Buckingham's Counseling Department will host our Senior Recognition Event night at 6 p.m. Seniors earning scholarships or special recognitions and course for graduation will be honored for their achievements. Seniors will also be going on the Disney trip on May 23rd, and as a result, this will be my last meeting of the school year. I would like to thank the board members, President Jansen, Vice President Santillan, and Superintendent Santa Padre for this chance to represent my school. I hope that our next Buckingham representative will enjoy this opportunity as much as I did. Thank you.
Don't forget the sunscreen on your trip. Very important. All right, we're going to go on to Ernest Kenny with Ella.
Good evening, board members, Vice President Santillan, and Superintendent Santa Padre. The school year is coming to an end. We have just about 4 weeks left, so that final just run to the finish line, we're almost there. This week, students celebrated their March Madness attendance challenge victories with a pizza party for the 7th graders who won the class challenge, and 150 high school students who increased their overall attendance by at least 10%. These students will be getting a special pizza party lunch to celebrate their achievements. Davina Cosmetology and Barbering Academy certified 30 Kimmy students in the art of piercing. Students learned all of the health and safety requirements that come with being a piercer. Each student got to practice on a replica of skin to feel for piercing an ear. Senior meetings are in progress to help our seniors get across the finish line as graduation is getting closer. While seniors are getting ready to be done, our Kimmy Academy counselor, Ms. Wilson, is working on getting students scheduled for next year and discussing their options. Myra Montano from Vacaville Youth Services Department will be coming to host a special yoga session for students to help celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. Students will learn how yoga can be a part of self-care and learn poses that can be done in their chairs at school as well on a yoga mat. We are really looking forward to this activity. Also part of Mental Health Awareness Month, a representative from the Solano County Office of Education Mental Health Department will be hosting an information session to help students explore career options in the mental health care field. And that concludes my presentation.
Go down the line to Vacaville High with Alice.
Alright, good evening, Vice President Santillan, Superintendent Padre, and fellow board members. I hope you all having a great week, and here's what's been going on at Vaca High. This past Saturday was our Mr. GQ competition. It was a huge success with the show being sold out and became one of the most memorable and funniest events of the year. The boys gave it their all, but in the end there had to be one winner, and our 2024 Mr. GQ was Micah Navarro, so congrats to him. And then our track team worked hard and won the MEL competition this past week. And then for the 1600 meter run, the top 2 placing runners were brothers from Vaca High. Jackson Stream, a junior, took first place with a time of 4 minutes and 22 seconds. And his younger brother Cooper Stream, a freshman, took second place with a time of 4 minutes and 23 seconds. So they were off by a second, and he's just a freshman. So that's a real shout out to them. And then great job to our track team for representing Vaca High well. And then this week, AP testing began, and all of our AP students are working hard, studying, and preparing for their tests. Thank you for listening to my final report on Vaca High. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Jason.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Santa Padre, Vice President Santillan. I am Jason Carlos Ruiz, here to provide the final report of Wilsey Wood as we close off the school year. Everything in terms of the ending of the year is going perfectly at this point in time, with our prom just coming around the corner with its tangled theme. With nothing else out of the ordinary, I am certain that it will be a smooth transition into alumni status for the class of 2024. Very exciting today was the introduction of our senior field day, with the stadium being open for seniors from lunch to the end of school. They had tons of fun playing yard games, eating complimentary snow cones, and riding the slip and slide. Isn't that amazing on how we figured out how to put one down in the stadium? As it was the first time we had ever done the event, it is surely going to be a staple of Wood tradition from this day onward. For the performing arts this Friday and Saturday, and this Thursday, our productions of Clue on Stage are happening at 7 p.m. If you have the time, I seriously do urge you to designate just a few hours of your time for a great entertainment for a product the cast and crew have painstakingly been working on for months, day and night, through the assignments, the AP test, and the senioritis. Especially, please indulge yourself and watch Clue on Stage Friday and Saturday in the Catwalk Theater at 7 p.m. On a closing note, on a larger scale, Wood is doing absolutely great. From my personal experiences, the students, the senior classes we're passing the reins over to are incredibly passionate. And I foresee even greater success happening for our wonderful school. I'm looking forward to the rest of my colleagues in Wood's own class of 2024. I'm proud to know that we all have bright futures ahead of us. All a new part of the amazing school and the district it resides in, allowing us to grow and develop into the strong people we are today. Never forget that Wood is filled with teachers, staff, and students who are eagerly making their school the absolute best it could possibly be. That's all I have to report. I've been Jason Carlos Ruiz. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.
Thank all of you very much. Appreciate all these things. Yes, no, 1 second.
And so I want to really thank you all for what you've done over the last year, each and every one of you, and I really think it's kind of a big deal. I know know sometimes that it seems like an afterthought to some people or whatever, but, you know, you come every week, you come up to the podium, you have to public speak. You know, you have a lot of people that are older than you and experienced that kind of watch you and listen to you. And I think that's really going to help, you know, kind of going forward, because, you know, it's kind of like going through the fire. And you guys have all done great, and I really wish you a lot of success.
Anybody else need to say anything? Thank you all so much for your presentations. We do really appreciate the information and all the updates. All right, we are going to go on to staff reports and presentations, and we are going to hear some information about the Independent Study Program transition. So your Associate Superintendent of Educational Services, Sasha Miguel, will be talking to us. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good evening, governing board members, Superintendent Santapadre, and Vice President Santillan, as well as staff and community. I am excited tonight to present to you some changes that we have in store for our Independent Study Program. I do want to clarify that this move is a little bit different and unique in that as a district we frequently move programs from site to site based on need and what is in store for those campuses and the program itself. And so normally we wouldn't necessarily come to the board with a presentation about a program move like this. But this program move is a little different because, as you know, our Independent Study Program is currently located at one of our charter schools. And so it's changing from a charter program to a district program. So that's something different. And so while there's no action necessarily to be taken by you tonight, there will be action on this item by the board in the future in the form of approval of a material revision for the charter itself when we come and bring that back to you. So it's a little bit unique in the timing and structure of this, but I just kind of wanted to get that out at the beginning so that you have that understanding. So let's talk a little bit about this plan. As you all are aware, we currently do have an Independent Study Program for our secondary students, and that is located at our Ernest Kimmy Charter Academy as part of their programming. We also have an elementary Independent Study Program, and that's located currently at Orchard Elementary, where we serve our elementary students. And so our plan right now is to bring our secondary Independent Study Program back under the larger umbrella of the district, as opposed to continue operating it at the charter school. In the past couple of years, there are some reasons for this, and so in the past couple of years, we have seen that there are concerns with the growth and success of the independent program. Even though our teachers have worked very hard and created a rigorous and supportive independent study program at Kimmy, the additional layers of operating as a charter have made it difficult. Because although Kimmy is a dependent charter, which is different, right, than an independent charter, they still have to follow all the charter rules and regulations. And when you layer that on top of district rules and regulations, it makes things a little bit inefficient. It can be difficult to get students enrolled in a timely fashion. And so what we see as a result of some of that inefficiency is that sometimes our students who are in our comprehensive programs are opting to go to fully online charter school programs such as CAVA or Visions, California Academy of Virtual Academy, excuse me, or Visions. And so we want to try to stop that and ensure that our students that are within our district are staying within our district if they choose to do an independent study option. So we want to remove some of those barriers of complication that having both the charter and the school district rules in place put together for our students. So that is one of the biggest things we're trying to look at. And the other piece that we have anecdotally is that often when our students do leave to go to fully online programs, because those are quick and easy to access, they often come back to us and they often have a lot more credits to make up. And so that is also something we want to ensure that we are operating a viable independent study program where our students can quickly get to where they'd like to be supported, and be successful. So this change does have quite a few benefits for the independent study program. Having the program district run and not having those additional administrative layers from the charter lens will allow us to ensure that students are quickly and appropriately placed into the program. We can have conversations with counselors and families during that process about whether or not students are ready to be independent learners and what that might look like for them. Students will also be able to access school activities, including our sports, extracurriculars, graduations from those campuses. And the reason for that is because as a district operated program, they'll remain attached to their comprehensive school. So for example, if a student is a Will C. Wood student and wants to access the independent study program, they'll sign up for that program, but they will remain a Wildcat. So they can continue playing on that sports team, they can go to those dances, they will continue to have all of those opportunities available to them. And we think that's a big draw for students that are wanting to have that independent study option, but also maybe remain tied to some of those more typical school activities. These students will also be able to access some of the classes at their comprehensive site. And we do that now already. Some students will go from high school to be able to take a class that's perhaps not offered at their high school or at QE. And so that's something that they would be able to do. For example, if they wanted to take a CTE class or one of the lab sciences or something that's just not simply able to be offered through the independent study program, they'll have that option as well. We're really excited about that for them. This change also has some benefits for KIMI Charter, specifically the WRAP program, the Work Readiness Program that is also there. The relocation of the independent study portion of this of the charter will allow for additional space for the WRAP program to be able to continue growing their enrollment, as well as put together some CTE pathways and opportunities for students to access there. And we do know that we have continued to have students on the wait list trying to access KIMI WRAP, but we have a space issue, and so this would help with that. So we feel that more students would be able to get to the places they want to be within our district, allowing for that element of choice. And of course, there are district benefits to this move as well that we think are positive. The 100+ students that we currently are serving in independent study will come to be with the district, and so that will increase our enrollment, therefore our ADA, and so therefore our budget. And of course, we will need to fund the teachers and the program that are occurring within independent study. But because of some of those additional dollars and some other movement we've been able to do, it will allow us to continue, and I think Brenda mentioned it earlier, at least for another year, temporarily funding those additional counselors at the 2 comprehensive sites, so that's definitely a positive. This program move also, like I said, creates that additional space for KIMI WRAP program, allows them to grow, and again, we know that that is a wait list that almost from first day of school, there's a waiting list, and so hopefully those students will be able to get in sooner, be able to access that program and its supports when they're ready to do so. And then you may need to ask Kelly Burks to come up and explain this if you want super detailed level, but I will say that one of the other positives to this is that every year with our budget, there's kind of this moving target component that is the charter net shift from the charter students and district students kind of going back and forth, which we don't see a lot of. Most of our Fairmont charter students, they're there, they stay there. Most of our Buckingham charter students, they're there, they stay there. And even many of our KIMI WRAP students, same thing. They're there, they stay there. Where we see the most back and forth is with our independent study program because of the nature of that, right? We'll try independent study, maybe that's not for me, we'll go back to our school. And every time we are kind of trying to figure out some of those budget implications, that moving target does make it difficult because there's all these additional calculations that you need to do relative to where the student was sitting when their ADA or their attendance was generated. So again, if you want more on that, I'm sure that Kelly could do much better explanation, but that's my layman terms explanation of that. But that is a benefit and will help the district ultimately with our budget. So that leads us to location. I will say that we considered several secondary sites for this. We looked for space at Wilsey Wood, at Willis Jepson, and at Vacapena. Kind of looking through the lens of we wanted a secondary site. We wanted somewhere that had additional classroom space, which all three of those campuses do have some additional classroom space. And we also wanted to look at the proximity and ease of access for students and staff for the program. Ultimately, we landed with Vacapena. We're really excited about the possibility of the program there. It just lends itself, the space component, the facilities, to sort of being able to kind of carve out a separate area for independent study that is in a great access point on campus so that the students that are coming to campus will be able to easily access that. It is on the 8-7 side of town, which is where the majority of our students from independent study currently reside. That may change, but at least for now, we know that that is a location that will be accessible for many of them. And it also, back to the restrooms, I'm just like keying off all of Brenda's topics tonight, but you're right, restrooms are a big deal in this district. And this location allows for easy access, quick access to restrooms for both student and staff, which is really one of the major concerns with the location that we had initially looked at Wilsey Wood. And so this kind of hits all of those components facility-wise, and I just have to give a huge shout out to Principal Colleen Moe at Vacapena. She has just been super great to work with, very excited, offering up ideas, really welcoming this idea of having independent study on her campus. So I just have to say she's been great about that, and we're really excited and have started those facility conversations about what needs to change, what movement needs to happen, and what that will look like. Which leads us kind of to the logistics piece. So we're somewhere between step 3 and 4 right now. We've had lots of conversations and discussions. I've been doing some planning. We've done initial facility walkthroughs to kind of get a gauge of what would need to be added, changed, moved, implemented. So that work is happening. We have been communicating with staff regarding the change for next year. And we sent an initial communication, Principal Amy Blackstone sent an initial communication to families that this topic was being discussed, so they wouldn't be surprised by it when they saw it in the paper. So that has happened, but of course we want to give final instructions and information and continue that conversation with families and students so that they feel supported through this change. And then, of course, finalize those schedules for next year. What classes will we be offering for students? What's that going to look like? Support our teachers and staff in making that move. And then, of course, like I mentioned at the beginning, bringing that material revision regarding Ernest Kinney Charter Academy to you all for review and ultimately approval. So that is where we are. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much. We also have a student board member question. Let's start there. Yeah, Jason.
I'm just wondering about on students going to alternative resources other than our independent study. I'm just wondering how many students if we have a statistic for how many actually switched over to that.
I don't have a statistic with me, but I know that just with working with the high schools at the semester, we'll usually see anywhere from 10 to 20 making that change, and so that's significant to us. Great question.
Thank you. Michael?
Thank you, Sasha. So what is the capacity for students at Vacapena for the independent study? Logistically, how does that work?
I think that right now, under the model that they're currently operating, we could continue serving the roughly 150 to 180 students that they have, because you'll remember that independent study students don't come on campus every day. They're doing the bulk of their work independently from home. And so right now at Kinney Charter Academy, they have a couple of in-class opportunities on Wednesdays, and there are some students that will come for that. And so the capacity issue space-wise, so I'm going to answer 2 different ways. So space-wise, I think we have plenty of space currently for what they're currently operating. And if needed, we could look at growing the space. As far as instructional support-wise, teacher staffing, we also are going to remain at the same level of staffing. But the nice thing about independent study too is you can grow that as students come. We can add 6/5, for example, for teachers who are already teaching to take on that independent study support or a PLP work for students. So I don't want to say unlimited, and that's certainly not our goal. We don't want, you know, an unlimited amount of students taking independent study, because I also really believe that independent study isn't for everyone. It can be very difficult for students to access that, but I think we have the capacity now, we have the ability to grow.
So help me understand, 150 to 180 kids. So how often are they on campus?
Some might not come at all, it really is so individualized depending on their schedule, so some might not come at all. Some might come one day a week for an in-person class. A number of them will take Zoom classes, and then some of them will take more like online only through the Odyssey Wear program or other programs. So it really depends. I know we were at Kimmy a couple of weeks ago, and you know, on a Tuesday there were maybe 15 students sort of getting some support, talking to teachers, doing some work, and then on a Wednesday there were closer to 30 or 40. And that's going to depend on how they break out their schedule in their classrooms as well. So they'll need to take that into account when they're scheduling, because they won't want to schedule several in-person classes at the same time. But they typically only come that one day a week, at least right now.
Just rejected you, Amy, sorry. There we go. All right.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. I had a couple of questions for you. I was curious, how deep is the wait list for Kimmy Rap?
For Kimmy Rep was here earlier. I am not sure what the current wait list looks like, but I know there have been students on the wait list since October that have still not been able to access the program.
And then you mentioned you're having conversations with families, students, and then teachers and staff. I'm curious, like, what are you hearing from them as you present this? Both like just responses, like positive, and then also any concerns.
I will say, and to clarify, I haven't had any conversations with families and students just yet. That's been more the Kimmy staff have been doing some of that. But the conversations with staff, that includes both Kimmy staff as well as Wilsey Wood staff, administrative staff. So I think, you know, some of the concerns have been around just kind of the logistic pieces, like how is this going to work, and the timing, and you know, just kind of that angst around, gosh, it's May and we're making this move, and so just trying to support through that, but understanding kind of the need and the positives, like we mentioned, to the benefits of the program. I think that those resonated with them as well, really being able to continue that rigorous and supportive program that they've developed over at Kimmy, and ensuring that we're getting the right kids and the right access to that quickly, I think were positives for them.
And any supports that the district gives as people are moving, like as we move the site to effective staff and educators as well too? Like to help them like physically move their stuff, like yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't understanding the question, but yes, there will be assistance with that. We want to make sure that's as smooth as possible for them, because that's stressful. Yeah, certainly.
All right. So I do have a couple questions. Anybody else have any questions? Can I jump in with mine? Okay. Like the idea, fully aware of the reason that we have to do this and we want to do this. One of my questions though is with the classrooms that are going to be used at Vacapina, is this going to affect at all the Vacapina 6th grade band programs that we were trying to pilot?
No, it's not at all, and great question. But then we do have some space, and I know we've talked at length around our facilities needs and where some of our spaces are and where some of our spaces are not. And so Vacapina did, because of their enrollment, they do have that additional capacity, so this won't impact the 6th grade. And in fact, the classrooms that we'll be utilizing, a couple of them are really only used right now once a week because they're free type of thing. So during their study hall or flex period, they're using them because it's available, but it's not going to be a big impact to be able to transition those over to the independent study program.
Thank you. And with the with Kimmy's, we're at the current student population there. Is there anything in the charter that limits how many students they can have at this time?
No, there's nothing in the charter that limits that. It's really been about a couple of things, the facility space, so whether or not we have classroom room, and then with that also comes student contacts that teachers can have. And so, but without additional rooms, we aren't really able to get additional teachers, and so it all kind of leads back to the facility space, but there isn't anything in their charter that limits them.
Okay, and then with the removing of the area that has this density currently, are you looking at utilizing that for bringing more students in at Kinley in that site? Is there any issues regarding safety? Because I know it's on either sides of a parking lot, so we're going to have students crossing between the parking lot at times and.
Yep, and I think they will probably take lessons from when Buckingham was there and did that for years. But yes, we're going to be looking into how to ensure that they do that safely and that there's support provided for that. So the plan is to use the other side of the parking lot that at Bella Vista, that where Independent Study is located, and that is similar to how Buckingham operated when they were there with their 500 students. So we're able to support them in that.
And as they start to build up their population there, are we going to be looking at adding more administrative staff and more teachers and everything to help absorb the responsibilities?
Well, we would certainly need to add more teachers so that we could get additional contact times. And then I think the administrative and support staff component will just look at what our ratios are and what that need is as we go. Certainly can be part of a conversation, as always, when we're looking at how we're staffing support personnel across the district.
All right, thank you very much. Those are my questions. Anybody else? No? All right, thank you so much for bringing
Thank
that to
you.
us. And so, let's see. We're going to move on to action items. We're going to do a break. We're going to keep on through. We'll take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and do this action item. All right, we're gonna jump into action items now. So we're gonna start with adoption of resolution number 2023-24 resolution recognizing California Day of the Teacher and other certified staff of May 7th. And it is requested that the board approve resolution 25, the 2023-24 recognizing California Day of the Teacher. This is a roll call vote.
Making a motion first?
Oh, yeah.
I make a motion.
And a vote. Okay,
I'll second.
thank you both.
I'm sorry, who was that for the first?
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes. And Amy, or
No,
Lindsay. I'm just
One of those.
assigning credit for Amy.
Voices down there.
All right.
Ms. Russell Yoko,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Serrato,
Yes.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Kitsis,
Yes.
Vice President Santiano.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one, which is requested that the board approve resolution number 26, 23-24, recognizing classified school employee week as May 19th through 25th. And may I get a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded, so let's do another roll call vote.
Your vote, Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Serrato,
Yes.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Kitsis,
Yes.
Vice President Santiano.
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty, we can go on to C, which is requested that the board approve the purchase order with Blum USA Inc. in the amount not to exceed $102,137.50.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you,
Second?
thank you. And so motion and second, and it's all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Hearing none? All right, thank you very much. And next is the requested that the board approve the amended contract with Daylight Foods in the amount not to exceed $500,000.
Make a motion.
Second?
Moved and seconded, and all in favor?
Yes. Yes.
And opposed? All right. And jump to the requested that the board approve the purchase order with East Bay Restaurant Supply in the amount not to exceed $113,941.31.
I'll move. Second?
Moved in second, and all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, any opposed? No? All right, thank you very much. A lot of purchase orders. It's all for the food. All right, administration request approval, the purchase order for Global Vending Group for the purchase of book vending machine in the amount not to exceed $76,807. This one's not good.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded. Anybody have anything they want to say about this one?
I'll say something.
Please.
Actually, it's a very, am I allowed to say how, I think it's a very cool idea.
That's why I offered people to see something. But yeah, I'm very excited about this one, having that book vending machine. I think it's gonna be a great thing. It's gonna really probably blow the kids' mind. Wait, that's not a candy bar. I can read about it. So, all right, thank you very much. We had the motion and we had the second. So all in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, and then opposed? None? All right. Good to go. And then it is requested that the board approve the amended purchase order for an additional $250,000 with Cisco Northern California for a total amount not to exceed $1,450,000.
I'll move.
And,
Second.
all right, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Nope. All right. And how to go so fast, I lose my place. All right, it is requested that the board approve the purchase order for Gaylord Telesystems, Inc. for the security camera phase 3 project.
Make a motion.
Second?
All right, moved and seconded, and all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? No. All right, and then it's requested that the board approve a purchase order with Gaynor Telesystems for the security camera phase 3 project. This one is for the network servers.
I'll move. I'll second.
Moved and seconded, and all in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? No? All right, thank you very much. And administration requests the approval of board policy 0520, intervention in underperforming schools.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Moved and seconded, and all in favor? Is there anything that needs to be pulled for discussion? No? All right, we do this all in one fell swoop, so can I get a motion?
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded, and all in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? No? All right. Then I believe the last bit, there's no extra informational stuff that you guys get to hear me talk about. Just future stuff. Informational stuff. So future business is we are gonna have a regular governing board meeting on May 23rd, 2024, 6:30 PM here. And also the regular governing board meeting on June 13th.